Hello. Get my mic turned on. Hello, this is David Harris from Starkville, Mississippi. I'm a certified Ross instructor, and I'm going to be doing the fifth in what I call my social distancing series of Bob Ross paintings. Now, I do take a few little allowances. I may move some things around. I may change some colors. But basically, I'm using Bob Ross techniques through the entire painting. What I'm going to do today is from Joy of Painting, book 15, and the name of the painting is Cabin by the Pond, painting number 7. I am painting by myself at the MFJ Metal Shop, and I appreciate the fact that MFJ is allowing me to do such. Okay, let's go over the colors I put on the palette. We have titanium white, phthalo blue, Prussian blue, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, alizarin crimson, cadmium yellow, Indian yellow, yellow ochre. Now to start over with, let's dispense with the mask. Alright, ready to go now. I'm going to start with a 2-inch brush and alizarin crimson. The canvas is already prepared with liquid white, very thin coat. I made sure that I didn't miss any spots. Do that by getting off to the side of it and looking at it with a light glaring on it, and see that everything's shiny. I'm going to start in the sky, and we'll start with some alizarin crimson. I'm tapping the brush in the paint. So it's the same old brush I put the liquid white on with. Tapping the brush into the paint, and the reason I'm tapping it is if I load it in that manner, there are no big gobs, no wads of paint that's going to make a huge streak in the middle of the canvas. So I'm going to start right in here, and some next strokes. I may get a little bit off toward the edges. Really doesn't matter. The next color I put on there is going to be even stronger. Maybe I want a little bit of it in what will eventually be the water. So I will clean my brush, so to speak, in the water. And I can restrict that whatever amount I choose. Notice I'm going horizontally on what will eventually be water. Water's flat. You always respect the lay of the land, so to speak. Water's flat. Surface water is always flat unless it's running in a waterfall or something like that. In the sky, it's more random. There we did a little extra. Alright, I think I'll put a little bit of phthalo blue on this alizarin crimson. I have a little extra left over. That blue is super strong, so has to be kind of conservative with how you use it. I've got kind of a purple looking blue. Works for me. I'll tap into it again, make sure there's no big gobs of paint on my brush. I'm going to start here in the corner, here in the corner. A few X strokes across the top, but darken out, get a little more paint in my brush. And maybe I'll start making what could be, looks like, clouds. I'm using just the corner of the same dirty brush. Right down into the pink that's mostly in the center. Get a little bit more up here. No, I'm not restricted. The big thing I don't want to do is make a repeating shape. And to assure that I don't have much of a repeating shape, I'll be going back in. Maybe I'll overlap that a little bit, come off to the right. It gets dark there. That's fine. I can blend it out a little bit on the bottom of those shapes. And really, that's pretty much all I need. I think I will take, though, and just make myself a little bit of a bright spot. May wind up having to put some of those clouds back in. I'm going to put it right there. So I got a little bit of a bright spot right in that area. Well, I've got that blue color on my big brush. I'm going to take just a little bit more of it and go ahead and get some down in what will eventually be the water. Some things I like to do is it's coming to the bottom of the canvas. I like to get it a little bit darker, and that's just a compositional thing, some things that I like to do. And again, the water is flat. I'm using flat horizontal strokes in the water. And I hit off on tangents. I've added a little bit of white in the sky. I think I'm going to add a little bit of white in the water under that bright spot that's in the sky. So, and nothing's really finished now. There's no wrong step that can be done at this point. We're just starting to think about a painting. I pull down, and that gives it kind of a reflective look and blends it. The last stroke will be across. Okay, I'm going to start putting in some background tree, background foliage. I've got phthalo blue. Put a little more of that down there. More alizarin crimson. Now, since these are distant background trees, I don't want to go up that full string. I'm going to take some white and just a little bit of that color and load into it. I like that, okay. I'm going to take the same old dirty brush and I'm going to start making some shapes. And these will maybe indicate trees and forests and such back in the distance. Don't I'm going to cover up my bright spots, so I'm going to get it low right down through there. Maybe a kind of a vertical tree, who knows. And most of this, a lot of this will cover up. It's creating distance. It's creating a layer. That's its entire function. I'll touch the corner of my brush and some Van Dyke brown. Just to alter this color a little bit where I'm going to be crossing this darker cloud. So now I've got a slightly altered version of the same color. And all the way to the edge. Okay, I'm going to use my little liner brush, and I think I will start with fairly dark, mostly Van Dyke brown. Oh, Van Dyke brown just looks really good in tree trunks and that kind of thing. Put a little tree trunk here and there. A little bit more time here. Maybe I want a dead tree coming right across the white spot. And maybe a few taller ones. Can't really mess up your creation. Doesn't really matter. I'll come in with my 1-inch brush, and I'm going to go to, I think I'll go to yellow ochre to begin with. We're off in the distance. I don't want it coming on too strong. I'll bring out a few of these trees. Add a little white to it. Cadmium yellow. Brush is getting a little dirty, that's okay. I don't need extremely bright colors back in here. It's hitting that and turning green, that's good. A little more cadmium, I like that. And we'll just a little Indian. A little more transparent, it'll do. Some pretty interesting things, especially if I started over here outside the lines. Never was too good at coloring in lines. And any place the trunk looks a little strong. That'll be a different color. I'll throw a little bit of alizarin crimson into the mix. I'm just trying to come up with an interesting background here. This is nothing that's going to be very dramatic to painting. Okay? I'm going to step forward in the painting. And this time, I need it to be considerably darker. The next layer is coming closer to the viewer. So to do that, it has to be darker. At least on the first layer, on the underpainting. I know that you technically call that underpainting, but I did. And maybe I'll throw a little bit yellow ochre in there. Oh, the color there. A lot of Van Dyke brown, some of that leftover purple blue. And then I added yellow ochre to it. And go back to that same old dirty brush. I don't like to clean brushes very often during paintings, so I tend to reserve my 2-inch brush mostly for darks and my 1-inch for lights. And then if I've got a lot of lights, I'll sometimes use 2-inch brushes. Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Maybe start right up in there. Layer after layer. The way we achieve those layers, see that sharp edge on the top? Instead of just dragging through that paint, you push into it. You push into it, puts a lot of paint on the top part of those bristles, so that I get a really distinct layered look. I don't want to put a ton of paint here. I just want to get it fairly dark. Okay, I need some bushes, a little bit of stuff on top of that, maybe some weeds. Now push that up, get a weedy look. More bushes. And I know that I'm going to be putting a cabin here. It's nice to have some dark background color behind the cabin. Oh, that's a good start right there on that layer. I'm going to make another color because I want some evergreen trees. And I like to keep my evergreen trees really dark. Just provides a strong contrast for the background. I'm going to grab some Van Dyke brown and Prussian blue. Put a little more brown in. I'm going to alter the position of the camera just a little bit because I'm seeing that you're not able to see my palette very well. Maybe just a little touch of cadmium yellow. And that's just forcing it to the green side. Bob used that green in this one. Most of the time I'll mix my greens because I love the variation that you get when you mix those colors. Okay, I'm going to take my fan brush. I'm going to drag through both sides. Let it sharpen to a chisel edge. And I'm going to come over here and make a line. Bob usually just started at the top. I tend to pull it the whole way down. There's a reason for that, but I don't see whether that's a huge deal. I'm going to start to place all my evergreens. Maybe there'll be one there. And I want a nice dark contrast somewhere close to this edge. I've got a few more than Bob put in his. I'm going to make that one really tall. Okay. Now continuing, I've got my fan brush. It's still loaded real well. Neat thing about evergreen trees is that the fan brush is what creates them. All you're doing is striking down. If you sit there and paint every limb in, it's going to look contrived. But if I come up here and just touch and start striking down, it's got a wild look to it, and it's very natural looking. Strike down. Bob said the evergreen lived in that fan brush, and it does. You just bring it out by tapping down. I like an old wore out fan brush. They just give such distinct footprints when you touch the canvas. Oh yeah, that's a ragged looking evergreen trees. It's raining in Starkville, Mississippi again. We have just a few seasons in this part of the world. You know, most places it's April showers bring May flowers. Well, here it's April deluge just brings May floods. And it's I think last week it was pouring rain when I did this. We'll put a sign of a trunk in some of those. And I used Van Dyke brown and white, or Van Dyke brown. I used dark cyan and white to load my knife and just touch on occasion. want to see the trunk all the way from top to bottom. That's, again, it looks contrived when you do that. And just occasionally a little bit peeking through. Bob sometimes highlighted these. He may have, I don't think he highlighted them in the paint. If he did, he did very little. But I kind of like to leave them dark. I like that contrast that appears right there. So many times I just leave them dark. I need to highlight some of these bushes that I put in a minute ago. I'm going to use white. I'm going to hit cinnamon really bright. White and cadmium yellow. Brightest highlights I've done yet. I can throw stuff in here anywhere. Doesn't really matter. Just a little different color there. And I'm just throwing a little color in over here. Got a lot of grass down there. I'm going to go ahead and do kind of a mixed green. I'll grab a little tiny bit of phthalo wood, because it will eat a lot of yellow. I'll throw some white in there. Yeah, that'll work. So I've got a green of sorts. I'm going to grab another brush rather than wash that one right now. I think I'll grab a second 2-inch brush. So again, I'm taking that and I'm pushing that brush into that mix. See how it looks. I want it brighter. So I'm going to get some more white. And some more cad yellow. Ooh, yellow ochre. Doesn't matter. See if that brightens up enough to suit me. Yeah, that's a lot better. So I'm putting in some layers of grass again. Push into the paint to allow the correct footprint. And there is a correct footprint. Right on top, fading underneath. And I'm loading the brush over and over to get that look. So now I've got a green area. These bushes back here, there's no stems or anything to hold them up, so I'm going to go in here with the edge of the knife and just scratch some little limbs and things in there. That's all it takes. Okay, I have to build a cabin, and it's I'm gonna move it just a little bit further right than Bob had it, just because that's my preference, you know, my painting. I'm not gonna get into a big dissertation about perspective, but just suffice it to say, if this cabin is on eye level, then the roof, the peak of the roof, needs to slope down away from the face of the building, just a little bit. So that's the peak of the roof. And I'm forcing it to slope down. I'm going to scrape this out first. There's the other side. Scrape it down that way.